One thing about workplace confrontation is really to make it not sound like a confrontation. So think about any other way to communicate your ideas and try not to make it sound like a disagreement or any argument between you and your boss. And sometimes it could just really be a good idea that you want to raise, a good proposition that you want to raise in front of boss that they haven't thought about. So instead of saying that, hey boss, I think we don't have enough budget or we don't have enough resource to work on this project, think about, hey, can we try to approach the project this way, such as adding more consultants because of their expertise. So trying to find a way to ask it as a question, but with more ideas as an add-on. So this will help your communication flow more smoothly, and for the other party, your boss is going to be more acceptable to this type of communication because it's a question, not a conflict. And when it comes to conflict, they have to take sides, whether to agree with you or stick with their opinions. The other thing I want to mention is that when it comes to the point of confrontation, try to make it verbal and not to put it in writing, because it will not leave any trail or record of what you said. There was one time and many times when I disagreed with my colleague regarding some projects, roles and responsibilities. I did not put it in writing. Instead, I tried to make a phone call with that person and try to show that we have different opinions on the responsibilities. I didn't think it was my job to do it, and she doesn't think it was her job. So there's a he said and she said situation. And we agree to disagree. We still try to make this gentle, try to play professional. But later on, it turned out I was wrong. On Monday's team meeting, the boss was actually asking us, have you asked Christine to work on this part? And it was not until then that I realized that I was wrong. But luckily, there's nothing that colleague could use to forward to the manager, because I didn't send any email expressing that opinions. It was all verbal. Next trick is really to speak up. And that's something actually one of the fans shared yesterday. You really need to speak up at least once a year or once in your lifetime during the career about how you really feel about your boss, and how you really any disagreement you had with your boss. Okay, this is particularly for a group of people who never speak up and bury their head to work all the time. And whenever it comes to a breaking point, they start to break. Goes down to a rabbit hole of having mental problems. And whenever you see something super illogical and super unprofessional, you do have the power to get more people's support. Everybody has experienced that. So whenever the boss give you too many workloads and 10 or 20 tasks at one time, but only give you a week to finish, which is super limited, logically speaking, and I'm all about logical speaking and logical thinking, because I could try to do whatever my boss told me to do, but whenever the logic doesn't work, I wouldn't do it. And there's no way a human would possibly be able to do it. So when it comes to workload, if you estimate that 7 days, including the weekend, is not going to be enough to finish the 20 tasks, you have to speak up and let your boss know. You have to let her know it's illogical. You need to show all the rationales or a list of reasons why they are not completed. It also somehow show your analytical skill and your critical thinking skill. You're not raising this concern mainly because you don't want to finish work, and it does not come so casual. So that's something I want everybody to understand. They can hate you or they can dislike you, but they cannot disagree with the logic.